An extended Newsnight on BBC2 at 10:30 looks at the case of the 4 UDR soldiers imprisoned in 1983 for their part in the sectarian murder of a Catholic. And there's also a look at the current crisis of confidence in the unionist community in Northern Ireland.
From Newsroom South East, the main stories this evening. Councils across the region have tonight been discussing poll tax bills and spending cuts. In London, Tower Hamlets Council has just decided to reduce its poll tax by £10, but it's still going to make budget cuts of £28 million. Education and social services will be worst hit. Hounslow is raising its poll tax, but will also be cutting its budget. And in Oxfordshire, county councillors have agreed a budget cut of £11.5 million. 2 people have been killed in a house fire in southeast London. The bodies of a man and a woman were found in a bedroom in a terraced house in Plumstead. A 3rd person has still not been accounted for. Police are treating the fire as suspicious. Thousands of homes in London are without water because pipes have burst in the freezing weather. Many people say their living conditions are now dangerous because they can't flush their lavatories or wash properly. Engineers have been working to repair the mains, but Thames Water says pipes are bursting almost as fast as they can mend them. Weather conditions have deteriorated so badly in Kent tonight that police are advising motorists to leave the M2, M20 and M26 motorways. They say lorries are sliding on all the hills and there's severe congestion. All roads throughout the region are extremely hazardous with fog, ice, snow and slush. People are being asked not to travel. Stansted and Luton airports have been closed tonight due to snow. People hoping to fly tomorrow are advised to phone the airports before setting out on their journeys. Residents of Barling Magnum, a tiny Essex village near Southend, have been celebrating Shrove Tuesday in a giant igloo. The Creasy family turned it into a pancake kitchen after friends helped to build the 10-foot-high snow home in their back garden. Well, you can keep in touch with the latest travel and weather by tuning into your BBC local radio station. We'll be back in Breakfast News just before 7. Now here's the weather with Michael Fish.
Good evening to you. I start with an all too familiar weather warning for you, especially for central and eastern parts of England, where already the roads are turning into skating rinks. There's some freezing fog showing up and more snow, but at least the snow itself will be dying away in the very near future. Now that's been brought by that area of low pressure that's going to be slipping away into the continent. You can see the cloud here on the satellite picture, a lot of dirty weather incidentally in Eastern Europe and the Eastern Mediterranean. There's the snow, the heaviest snow at the moment over parts of Kent and Sussex, but there are some other outbreaks further north, as you can see here. But all the while that will be slipping away, as we can see, into the continent during the sort of first part of the night. And by the early hours that should be well and truly across into France, just leaving behind a scattering of snow showers, as you see there along the east coast. But the main problem, once the snow is out of the way, is that that temperature is going to go down like a bang, and it really is going to give some treacherous road conditions in many places. And to add to the problems, there will be a fair amount of freezing fog around as well. In fact, there are already quite a lot of those patches beginning to develop. And the temperatures are going to go way, way down overnight tonight. So once again, a widespread, quite hard frost, away that is from some of those western coasts. Now tomorrow the low's out of the way, but we're going to still be in those quite cold northerly winds. But it should be a reasonably bright day, I think, in most parts of the country. That is, once that freezing fog has cleared. And incidentally, some of those patches of fog could linger right the way through the day, especially in parts of southern England, but most places ending up dry and reasonably sunny. 1 or 2 light snow showers still near to that east coast, and some thickening clouds spreading into Ireland as the day wears on. Cold again everywhere, 2 or 3 at best. That's the sort of middle to upper 30s, and where any of that fog lingers, so those temperatures will remain below freezing. Another problem on Thursday as another frontal system begins to push in from the west, and that too I think will bring some outbreaks of rain, sleet and snow across many parts of the country during the course of Thursday and Friday, and some of those northern hills ending up with a fair bit of snow, I think, by the time we get into Friday itself. Good evening to you.
There's a new look for Sunday evening on 1. At 7:15, a new series of brushstrokes finds Jacko having a dangerous liaison.
Personally, I would marry Lucia.
Why?
Well, first of all, I like living. And let's be honest, if you don't marry her, you could well end up as a piece of cold salami in a delicatessen window.
At the new time of 7:45, Lovejoy mixes business with pleasure.
Lovejoy, if I had been a man as you expected, would you be asking me out to lunch?
Certainly not.
Then at 8:35, the return of Butterflies by Carla Lane.
Now, the cups are hanging in the kitchen and the milk is in the fridge.
which is also in the kitchen. And the kitchen is due north. If one of you should get lost en route, the other two can form a search party. All right?
And the That's Life team bounces across to 9:40. Part of the new look to Sunday evening on BBC1.
Back to this evening now on One, where we slip into something uncomfortable. The nightclub underworld with Spender.